The hidden power of silence. All praise belongs to Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. May peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when Allah places us in situations where remaining silent becomes more powerful than speaking. In those moments, focusing on ourselves and our relationship with Allah becomes the key to inner peace. Sometimes people misunderstand us, sometimes they judge us unfairly. At other times, they try to drag us into arguments and conflicts that only disturb our hearts. Our nafs often pushes us to respond immediately. It tells us to defend ourselves, prove our point, or fight for recognition. But the wisdom that Islam teaches us is very different. Often the strongest response is silence. Walking away from unnecessary arguments, ignoring harmful talk, and focusing on your connection with Allah can be one of the greatest forms of strength. Allah reminds us in the Quran about the qualities of His sincere servants. He says that the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk humbly on the earth, and when the ignorant address them, they respond with words of peace. This powerful reminder teaches us that those who are close to Allah do not waste their time arguing with people who only want conflict. Instead, they choose dignity, calmness, and peace. They focus on improving themselves and strengthening their relationship with Allah, rather than lowering themselves into pointless disputes. My brothers and sisters, think about how much energy we sometimes waste talking about others. We respond to gossip, worry about people's opinions, and spend time defending ourselves against every accusation. But the truth is simple. People's words cannot change your destiny. Their opinions cannot harm you unless Allah allows it. What truly matters is how Allah sees you. When you understand this reality, you realize something powerful. Your silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. And focusing on your own self is not selfishness, it is growth. Why reacting emotionally weakens the heart? The Prophet ﷺ taught us a beautiful principle. Part of a person's excellence in Islam is leaving what does not concern them. This is a golden rule for a peaceful life. How often do we involve ourselves in matters that have nothing to do with us? How often do we talk about people's lives, their mistakes, or their personal affairs? Every minute we spend doing that is a minute taken away from our own spiritual growth, our own worship, and our own connection with Allah. Sometimes silence acts as a shield. It protects us from saying words that we might regret later. It prevents arguments from damaging relationships. Silence also teaches patience when emotions are boiling inside our hearts. Most importantly, silence allows us to hear something deeper. The quiet voice inside us that reminds us of Allah, guides us back to prayer, and calls us towards gratitude and humility. Focusing on yourself in Islam does not mean ignoring others or becoming selfish. It means purifying your heart, correcting your character, improving your prayers, and strengthening your patience. It means understanding that your real journey is not about what people say about you. Your real journey is about what Allah is writing for you. If your mind is constantly occupied with other people's opinions, your heart will remain restless. But when your focus shifts toward your relationship with Allah, a deep sense of peace begins to grow within you. Look at the life of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He faced insults, rejection, and harsh treatment from many people. Yet he did not waste his time responding with anger or harsh words. Instead, he remained focused on his mission, his worship, and his noble character. His silence in the face of abuse was not weakness. It was patience, strength, and complete trust in Allah. And that is the example we are meant to follow. Silence as an act of trust in Allah. When life becomes difficult, when people misunderstand you, and when your heart feels the urge to respond, remind yourself of something important. My silence is my strength. My focus is my growth. And my peace is with Allah. Every time you hold back from speaking unnecessarily, you are protecting your heart. Every time you avoid an argument, you rise above your nafs. And every time you focus on improving yourself instead of criticizing others, you move closer to Allah. The world we live in is full of noise. Everyone has opinions. Everyone has something to say. But the heart will only find true rest when it disconnects from that noise and reconnects with the remembrance of Allah. Let your quiet moments be filled with dhikr. Let your silence be accompanied by reflection. Let your time alone become moments of dua and connection with your Creator. In this way, silence transforms into an act of worship. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is remain silent when your heart wants to shout, when your tongue wants to respond, and when your mind is filled with arguments you wish to express. But that silence can protect your soul. Allah knows the battles taking place inside your heart. He knows the pain you hide, the insults you hear, and the patience you show. And patience is always rewarded in ways beyond our imagination. The Prophet ﷺ said that whoever truly believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent. This hadith reminds us that silence is not merely avoiding harm, it is an act of faith. If your words will not bring goodness, then silence becomes the better choice. Allah hears what you do not say. Sometimes people will misunderstand you. They may accuse you unfairly or speak about you behind your back. Your nafs may push you to defend yourself and prove them wrong. But when you choose silence, you are placing your trust in Allah. And who is more just than Allah? Silence protects your soul from sins and protects your relationships from unnecessary damage. It also teaches humility. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every feeling needs to be expressed. Not every reaction needs to be shown. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. The Quran tells us the story of Maryam, peace be upon her. When she faced a heavy test, she was commanded to remain silent and leave the matter to Allah. And in her silence, Allah defended her in a way that no human explanation could ever achieve. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. When we trust Allah and leave matters to Him, He protects our dignity in ways we could never imagine. Think about your own life. How many times have you spoken in anger and later regretted it? Words once spoken can never be taken back, but silence never needs regret. Speech can sometimes lead to mistakes, while silence protects us from them. This is why many wise people throughout history have said, "I have never regretted my silence, but I have often regretted my words." Lessons from the righteous focusing on yourself also means turning inward and asking important questions. Am I pleasing Allah? Am I improving my prayers? Am I leaving my sins? Am I working on my character? These are the questions that truly matter. At the end of life, it will not matter what people said about you or how many arguments you won. What will matter is your book of deeds, your faith, and your connection with Allah. So let silence become your companion and self-reflection become your path. Use the energy you save from arguments to improve your salah. Replace gossip with gratitude. Replace conflict with remembrance of Allah. This shift from noise to peace is what transforms the heart. Remember, silence does not mean weakness. It means wisdom. It means trusting that Allah sees everything, hears everything, and will handle every injustice in the best way. Being wrong but choosing patience. Sometimes people will test you. They may try to provoke you or pull you into negativity. But remember something important. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every word deserves a response. And not every person deserves your reaction. When you walk away quietly, you are not losing. In reality, you are protecting your peace and allowing Allah to take care of what is beyond your control. Silence also creates space for reflection. When you are not constantly reacting, you begin to notice the signs of Allah around you. You start listening to your heart and recognizing areas in your life that need improvement. In this way, silence itself becomes a form of worship. Focusing on yourself does not mean ignoring others. It means improving yourself so you can become a better believer, a better family member, and a better human being. The scholars used to say that the one who is busy correcting his own faults will not have time to criticize the faults of others. This is the secret of inner peace. Look inward and you will find contentment. Every time you stay silent in anger, you plant a seed of patience. Every time you ignore negativity, you strengthen your humility. And every time you focus on your own journey, instead of competing with others, you move closer to Allah. Slowly, these choices transform your heart. You become calmer, wiser, and more aware of your purpose. And perhaps, if you are listening to this message today, it may be a reminder from Allah. You do not have to fight every battle. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to exhaust your heart with endless arguments. What you truly need is focus, patience, and trust in Allah. Tonight, try something simple. Sit quietly for a few moments. Close your eyes. Turn your heart towards Allah and speak to Him sincerely. Share your worries, your fears and your hopes with Him. You do not need perfect words. Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. He hears even the words that never leave your lips. And in that silence you will find His mercy, His comfort and His peace.